Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. Azar Salesman.
We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away.
It smelled like wet dog. We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away. So stay woke, stay fresh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point and Click Podcast. My name is John the Wise, and I have with me Zara Salesman.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fallout 76 podcast.
Yeah, where we talk only about Fallout 76. But there's still some of that shit in the news. I have something about it.
Oh yeah. There's always something in the news about fucking Bethesda
Blizzard.
just doing dumb fucking shit.
I don't think that they can escape themselves, dude. I think what's going to happen is eventually they're just going to implode. That's just what's going to happen. They're going to implode on each other. I don't know what chat room is the right one. I hope this is the one. You're in the right place, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Everybody in the live chat. Please let me know if my audio sounds weird, because none of you guys told me last week, and it was like really shitty audio quality. I don't know what the hell happened.
I guess it must have been your OBS because you sounded fine in the call.
Yeah, it was. I think it was defaulting to my webcam mic on OBS, but in Discord it was using the right mic. So there you go. We're good. Anyway, Zar, how you doing, bud?
Oh, doing great, bud. How you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm doing real good, bud. Man, I don't know what else to say other than I resubscribed to YouTube Red. I wanted to talk about this.
Why?
Okay, so have you ever tried YouTube Red?
No, it's just ad-free, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's ad-free, but there was like a certain point in YouTube where they were like, we're upping our ads. Like, it's going to be more than it used to be, right?
Yeah.
And right when that happened, I signed up for YouTube Red just for the fuck of it, because apparently if you have YouTube Red, you can lock your phone while the video is playing and the audio will keep playing.
Yes.
Insane feature, dude.
That is an insane feature. It's stupid that it's behind a paywall, though.
Can you believe that, dude?
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
I mean, it's something that should have been baseline years ago in the app, and then they recently put it out with your YouTube Red and put it behind that paywall. So it's a little ridiculous.
Well, they're
in my
geniuses.
opinion.
They know what they're doing at YouTube, at Google, because they're like, this is what people want, so let's charge them $10 to fucking have that feature.
Yeah, in my opinion, though, it's just so weird that it took them that long to even implement that kind of thing.
Yeah, but eventually they
that
did.
That should have been like a no-brainer. Duh! Like, this should have launched with the app.
Yeah. And honestly, it's such a good thing, because there's a lot of videos that the guy that's talking over it, that's the information, not really what you're seeing on screen. So most of the time I'm listening to videos instead of watching them, like while I'm driving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, my YouTube Red, I had lost my debit card, so I had to like update the information with my new one. So there was a period of time where I didn't have YouTube Red. And I was like, all right, I was like, you know what? Why am I paying $10 a month just to fucking lock my phone? I was like, I have a charger in my car. I'll put the charger on. I'll leave it, whatever. Let the screen do its thing. I'm not looking at it. That's fine. I don't need to pay $10 for it. But see, they thought of that, Czar. They fucking thought of that, dude. They were like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck you with ads, dude. And it's the
More
it's
ads.
the ads that you can skip. So they're like skippable
Yeah.
ads, but
Try to skip them while you drive.
that's what I'm saying, dude. They know me, dude. They fucking know me. They're like, we're gonna give you these skippable ads while you're driving, so it's okay if they're fucking 5 minutes long. Because you could skip it, bro, but it's like you're driving, so I caved and I went back. I didn't realize how many ads are going on with YouTube right now.
Oh yeah, there's lots of ads,
Yeah.
and it really depends on who you're watching and how many mid-roll ads they're allowed to throw in there.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. That was a weird tangent. So
Oh.
that's all it is. But I do recommend
Uh.
YouTube Red just for that feature. It's like an insanely good feature, in my opinion. Less ads.
The positive about YouTube Red, which I'm glad about, is that it doesn't. It's like ad block. You block the ads. It simply takes away AdSense from a creator.
Oh.
Whereas YouTube Red, you get rid of the ads, but YouTubers or whoever you're watching, if you have YouTube Red, they earn
AdSense.
quote unquote AdSense
Yeah.
from YouTube Red subscriptions by people with YouTube Red subscriptions watching their videos.
That makes sense. That's good.
So-
That's actually really good.
It is really good.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm just fine with ads on YouTube. I ad block like every other website except for YouTube.
Yeah, I'm fine with ads too. It's just there's so many of them now. They have like 5 mid-roll ones. Like,
Yeah, some people will do that. They have like a 10-minute video with 5 mid-roll ads, and you're just like, oh my god.
dude, and I'm okay with you making money because I want to support you, and that's fine. But it's just it just takes me out of every conversation. In the middle of a sentence, and then it's like, boom, ad,
Yeah.
new Hyundai, and I'm like, god damn it, dude. And they're not even fun ads. It's like, I'm not gonna buy a car, god damn it. Don't you understand?
I really like the YouTube sponsorships as opposed to ads.
Yeah.
So when you get the creators that have like regular sponsored content and stuff like that, especially ones like, I don't know if you watch Cow Chop.
I don't watch Cow Chop or Rooster Teeth. We've gone through this a million
Okay.
times, Zara. I don't watch your gay ass shows, dude.
I highly recommend Cow Chop to anybody out there, but they because a lot of their content gets demonetized, so they often have a sponsorship or whatever, and they do like they would do something funny or it's usually entertaining.
Yeah. I know Rooster Teeth is good, Moggers, and Mogger said I got an ad once that was 6 hours long. Jesus Christ.
Holy shit!
That's not even an ad. That's like Lord of the
That's-
Rings extended
Yeah,
edition. But yeah, I know, I'm sure Rooster Teeth is good. I just have my own flavors. I have things that I like, like I like Cinemassacre, Angry Video Game Nerd. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like right up my alley because he's like the same age as me pretty much. So all the things that he likes, I like.
Old.
Yeah, we're old. All right, listen. Fine wine, okay? Fine wine. That saying is old because kids don't
That
even.
saying is
fucking-
they're like, what?
People like your age don't even say that. You're like a fine wine. Mogger says it was a Jehovah's Witness interview thing on my 10-minute video that I wasn't paying full attention to. Jesus Christ, dude. You ever had those guys knock on your door?
Hate them.
Hate them?
Hate
You
them.
turn on your sprinklers and shit?
Fuck off with that shit. I hate any door knocking solicitor.
You would hate me then. But if you, because that's literally
Just-
my job.
Just yeah, I know. Just because like I'm so awkward, it's like I want to be like, no, just listen. I don't want it. Just leave.
When people say they don't want it, I just leave. I don't fucking. Or if they have a sign
Yeah,
that says no soliciting, I just leave. I don't
A
know.
lot of people don't.
Yeah, I
And
know.
that's the problem. It's like they're still, and it's like, dude, listen. I know that I don't want what you want.
Yeah.
If I did, I would entertain the conversation.
But in their mind, it's like, yeah, but there's just that one thing that I have to say to spark your interest. All right, I guess you don't want a free blowjob. Start walking away.
Whoa!
Hey, wait a minute.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Get back here. What did you say?
Can you talk and blow at the same
Yeah.
time? Because then I'll listen.
So how good are you at nose breathing? Oh man, but one time this Jehovah's Witness came to my house and he was so fucking nervous to talk to me And I was like, dude, why are you doing this? If you're so fucking like, don't do this. Don't put yourself through the stress. You could tell like he has anxiety, but he wants to save his soul.
So he's just doing what the church tells
He's
him to.
doing what he's supposed to. He's got his buddy with him who's just smiling at me like an idiot, you know, like just standing there like a mannequin smiling at me. And then he's like, hi, do you have a chance? I'm like, whoa, dude. I was like, come tomorrow. And they never do.
The best thing too is they usually are doing it like during peak summer hours,
Oh,
and they have to wear like
the suit.
the half suit.
Yeah. It's a
Where they're,
half
like-
suit. It really is.
They wear the half suit and ride around on their bicycles. So they come up and they're just sweating, and they're just sitting there smiling. Their hair's drenched. They're like,
Dude, it's an almost suit, and it's like, do you think Jesus would want you to wear an almost suit? Come on, man.
he carried that cross. You can wear a suit jacket.
Exactly, dude. Come on. But yeah, that's funny. Oh man, there's some sad news. Sad fucking news, dude, with Heroes
Oh,
of the
boy.
Storm. Should we just get into it?
Time to cry.
I have a lot of stuff to talk about. We could just get into it.
Well, then good. Let's jump right into it.
Let's jump right into
Let's
it, guys.
Fill up the Franco this shit.
All right, guys, in chat, get ready. Get your Fs ready in chat, guys, because it's coming, dude.
Pepe hands and F's in chat.
Pepe hands and F's in chat. Heroes of the Storm news. First of all, if you guys haven't seen this already, I mean, where the fuck you been? Let me move chat real quick over here. So yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, production value.
I like it. Pretty much, the esports of HOTS is dead. F's in chat if you guys are here and your F's are ready. They've killed it, dude. They've killed it, Jim.
Dead game. Finally official. We've been saying it for years.
I don't know.
Dead game.
I'm a little optimistic, but I guess I'm the only
Don't be.
one.
Don't be. It's going into what some like to call maintenance mode.
It's going into a bad gear. That's what it's going into. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, let's just to give you guys a rundown. I'm sure you all heard it, but anybody listening on the podcast that hasn't, Heroes of the Storm, they used to have two big tournaments every year, one called HGC and another one called Heroes of the Dorm, and they were two of the biggest esports that that's their esports. And they just decided to kill it for 2019, and it happened on my birthday, by the way, this December
Happy
13th.
birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Heroes is dead.
HOTS is dead. Happy birthday, dude. But pretty much what this means is that there is no official esports for Heroes of the Storm, a MOBA, anymore. And what that means for a lot of people is they're out of a job. A lot of the casters, a lot of the players.
Players, they killed their competitive scene entirely because it existed solely for the fact of trying to get into Crucible.
Yeah. The problem with it was that they were also paying all players a salary. So they wanted to take care of all the people playing.
Mm-hmm.
So they paid them a salary out of their own pocket. And that makes you a pro gamer, dude, if you're getting a salary, you know what I mean? So for them to kill it like that means all those people that like quit going to school or quit their jobs to do it full time, now they're out of luck. SOL, as they say. But yeah.
I mean, I would say too, putting your life on hold for a esport that's just coming up, that's not established, that is in a genre that is already established, is a bad decision.
Yeah.
It's just a bad life decision.
I mean,
Because
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Blizzard, the big issue, and the reason that even though Blizzard has been pumping money into esports, any esport they can for Overwatch League and HOTS, it's just that it's too late for HOTS.
Yeah.
Even League of Legends has already seen its peak. Like, what makes them think that now their MOBA is going to be a big successful esports when the MOBA esports has already peaked?
Yeah.
Like the MOBA esports not going to go away, but it's peaked. It's on the downtrend. It's just stabilizing now. Because Battle Royale is now the big thing, so it's going to peak and then stabilize. But it's going to be very difficult to bring in a new MOBA into a successful esports, especially one that had just so many balance and issues as HOTS did.
It's not just that, it was the production value that they had. So like they set
Yeah.
the bar, like this is how we want it to be. We want it to be official and big and giant, and you know, they just couldn't sustain it, man. They could not sustain it
Yeah.
from the beginning. Hold on, let me kiss my son. How you doing, bud? Okay. From the beginning, we knew in our heart of hearts, everybody knew that they were investing money in the hopes that this would catch on.
Yeah.
You know, that HOTS esports would catch on, but we all knew in our heart of hearts that it was not successful. Either Heroes of the Dorm
Yeah.
or HGC. Even though it was cool and it was fun and the production was awesome and it was great to see these pro players doing amazing things, other people outside of our bubble did not give a shit about it the entire time. And
It was internal community driven only,
Yeah.
and the community wasn't quite big enough. I mean, Blizzard still could do HGC and everything just fine. I think the biggest issue is that it's Activision is why,
Yeah.
this is shutting down.
yeah, that's what
Um,
that goes to my next point is before this news, we heard Activision had said, well, Mike Morhaime had stepped down. We think he was
Yep.
removed. And after that, they said that they were going to start cuts for the first time, which, by the way,
Yep.
isn't that weird that a company is starting to budget for the first time?
Well, I don't think they're starting to budget. They're worried about. I think it was because Activision pushed in a new CFO of Blizzard.
Yeah.
And I think there has been reports of some Blizzard employees leaving because of they feel like it's not Blizzard anymore. Activision is pushing control in.
Yeah.
And so like for the very first time they're talking about expense cutting and growth. Growth has to happen, that they have to be worried about what they're spending because Activision is coming in and saying, "Look, we're not making enough money." It's not that Blizzard's not making money. Blizzard's making money.
Oh my God, so much.
Blizzard is not making enough money
Yeah.
for the investors and the shareholders
Yeah.
and stuff like that. If you look at all of the AAA big publishers right now, over the last 6 months, almost all of them have seen a 50% drop in stock share prices.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put that in the news, because there was news that somebody posted on Reddit, oh, Blizzard shares down by 44%, but it's like, dude, all of them are down. All of them are
Yes. And it's just across the board, and it's indicative of investor. I think this is because a lot of people are always like, "Oh, look at the stock prices," but you look at long-term stock prices, and it's like that's barely a blip on if you look at it.
down. Yeah.
But this is actually a big situation. Even if you look at it like over a 5-year span, you can see the big arc of all the game industry going up, jumping around a bit, and this is a pretty significant dip from the peak,
Yeah.
even over like the past 5 years after the climb. So, what I think it's showing is that investors are losing hope in the future of these big AAA publishers because of things like what Bethesda's doing and other stuff like that. When they get this big, they're forced to put out bunches of products under name alone to try to sell. But then that sacrifices what gamers actually want, which is the quality games that they used to produce. And so them getting so big has caused the situation that they're in that's now causing investors to pull out.
Well, now you're seeing all these companies where failure is the consequences of failure are so much more dire than they ever were before. The money that they invest, the people that they have to answer to, and if you have a company like Blizzard who wants to keep that indie mentality, you know, Morhaime was known for that, to keep that indie developer mentality where we're just all about making good games. We don't give a shit about profit. The profit will come because we make good games. That whole mentality, it just doesn't work
it's not in it. It won't work in the AAA publisher sphere.
Yeah.
You should have merged with Activision then, if that's what you wanted for your company.
Yeah. And,
That's what it boils down to.
so what we're seeing is Activision, they held off on fucking with Blizzard because they're like, you guys got a formula that works. Then, we talked about it in our past episode, Project Titan was a huge embarrassment, and that was the beginning of the end of the hands-off approach. They were like, okay, now we need to start doing things, and this is where you see it. It was Morheim first, then it was the Diablo news, and then now it's Heroes of the Storm pretty much getting killed off.
Yep, because Activision is like, you're just dumping money, and you're not seeing that direct return investment on game purchases.
And the writing was on the wall, man. Like, we knew it wasn't. We would look at the League of Legends tournaments and the Dota tournaments and the Smite tournaments. Even Smite,
dude, and that's high res.
I know, man. Even those were doing better than HOTS. You know what I mean? And like, it was there for us, to see that it was not doing well. But I think we thought to ourselves like, Blizzard can afford it, And
they can.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, they can. Blizzard Activision makes enough money that it's not really a big deal business-wise. But Activision is like, no, we need to see more return for investors.
Yeah.
We need to see more profits for investors to come back in because investors are leaving. And not just leaving us, but they're leaving the big AAA publishers altogether. Like, they're leaving the market, not just us.
So I have a question for you, Czar, and I want you to really think about your answer for this. Do you think...
I refuse.
Come on, man. Please? Do you think that this will kill HOTS? That its player base will be gone, no one will play the game anymore, it won't make any money, and in 2020, it might even be canceled. Do you think that's possible?
No. I don't even really have to think too much on it. Because what it's going to do is it's always going to stay up. It's not going to be a whole lot of money for Blizzard to just continue to maintenance it. So Activision will let them do it. And there's enough people at Blizzard that are still wanting to keep this game alive because, as they've said, I think they used this exact verbiage twice or three times. Heroes of the Storm is their love letter to, all of their IPs and their community. So it's like, I really do think that for a lot of people at Blizzard, it was an internal passion project.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to go away. It'll be free to play with microtransactions that'll be enough to sustain itself even with a small player base. So as long as it is sustaining itself, Activision will just let it go. They'll let it, let Blizzard do whatever they want to, but they're not going to let Blizzard dump money into the production like they have been.
The other thing is, I was talking to Prince, and he was really, depressed about it. He was talking about how this is it for the game, and like he spent so much time and money into it, and he thinks this is it. And as much as I'm ready to be cynical like that, because you know me, dude, I'm ready to be like, it's over, burn the house down. I have something about it. Just, I feel like a lot of the players that play this game don't give a shit about the esports anyway.
The majority of the player base don't care, and they don't care about the competitive nature of MOBAs either, which you see in the ranked system.
They just want
people don't care.
There's more platinum, gold, and silver players than there ever will be master and grandmaster players, and that's just a fact. And those people will still be playing the game even if there isn't a competitive scene. Now, what I'm saying is that it'll still sustain itself. It'll just have a bad year, but it'll be a pretty bad year because esports is what injects life into your game, It
especially in the MOBA genre.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can give you an example. Like, I remember when Chen was like a nobody hero in the game. Everyone thought he sucked. And then that one Korean guy did that fucking barrel build where he throws his keg all the time. And then
the Donkey Kong build.
Yeah, and then he had this insane resurgence. So if esports wasn't around, that would have never happened, and people would have never had fun playing the game in that way.
There's stuff like that, even directly for money value, correlates to purchases of that hero.
Yeah.
There were people out there that didn't have that hero that suddenly it becomes popular because this one, professional player, or popular streamer or something does something cool with them that's going to drive sales, whether it be from gold or direct purchases with money. It'll drive sales of that hero to people that didn't already have it.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
stuff like that directly gives money into your game if you can sustain something like that.
Yeah.
Activision just doesn't want to do that with HOTS right now.
Yeah, they don't think they weighed their options, and maybe they're wrong in what they're doing. Maybe they're right in what they're doing. We'll find out next year. We'll find out the repercussions of all this, because they didn't just kill their esports. They also moved a bunch of their developers to other teams.
Not only moved, but developers are jumping ship.
Yeah.
Because what that means is they see the writing on the wall. They don't want to get fired
Yeah.
because the department's going to get downsized.
Yeah.
They're like, where can I go to a different department? Can I do? They're just jumping ship because they don't want to be part of the downsize.
They don't want to
It's
be a
gonna
part
happen.
of a game that's going to have a bad year, because their
Yeah.
life and livelihood will be on the line for it.
Exactly. So they're jumping. Yeah, it's
Stas
just-
is saying, will they allow community tournaments to continue and be streamed? I mean, they have that's for them to kill community tournaments would just be illogical.
Yeah, there will still be community tournaments, of course,
Yeah.
and and I think it's pretty easy to get approval to have like a prize pool and everything like that.
But
So
but I
those
mean,
will still be alive.
I don't think that the esports was the only reason HOTS was as popular as it was. I think it added an amazing flavor to it. Now we're just gonna get flavorless meat. This is what we're getting. You know what I mean? But you still like beef, right?
Yeah.
So
There's definitely good people who play it, even if development ceased to exist on this game and they left it, and just left servers open, people would still play the game.
And Moggers, our boots on the ground for Overwatch, says they also made cuts to Overwatch League, so across the board, their productions are being downscaled. Despite Overwatch League being a success financially, it seems to me that they're just being incredibly safe this year and had to weigh everything, like you said, and HOTS wasn't raking enough return in. Yeah, they made more cuts in HOTS than they did in their other games, for sure. Because what does that tell you? That tells you that it wasn't doing as well as their other IPs. It's just not,
Yeah. And you got to think too about like, okay, especially from like investors and stuff, what has Blizzard put out?
They've put out fucking...
Like in the last 2 years, what has Blizzard put out?
It's mostly Overwatch.
They're just Overwatch development.
Overwatch and
What have they put
World of
out?
Warcraft.
Like there's no new IPs.
No.
There's no new big games. Diablo 4 is several years off.
Yeah.
They're not putting stuff out that's going to be raking in the big sales. Activision's like, okay, y'all are just dumping money that we could be doing something else with.
Yeah, I feel like the next 5 years you're going to see a bunch of mobile games, because that makes, obviously, so much fucking money. So
They're going to be hitting the Chinese market hard.
They're going to hit the Chinese market hard and just rake in that cash. And then maybe after that, or during that period, we'll see a return to HOTS esports and stuff like that. I have a feeling it'll come back in 2020. But I'm just not sure yet. We'll see.
Yeah. I'd say be prepared across the board, not just for Activision Blizzard, but I'm talking the market, the whole high-end game market. Look at all those businesses and be looking forward to restructures within those companies in 2019.
By the way, I hate when I said this on Twitter, but I hate when they give us bad news, that they say stuff like we're excited for the future and like dude,
PR garbage
I
talk.
fucking hate reading that. Like, you're not excited, dude. You're just saying things so we don't get upset, but
and that people don't mass demand refunds on their year XP boost
yeah.
that went on sale right before you announced this.
Oh,
'Cause that's not scummy at all.
it was right before?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. They did the year booster right
They
before.
did the year booster pack on sale, like I think a week before this announcement. Or
Wow,
something.
that is scummy.
And so a bunch of people bought the boosters. And a lot of people buy those just to support the game, not even because they really wanted the booster. just to show support for the game, they're willing to put the money into it. So, and then Blizzard's just like yoink.
Wow. That kind of breaks my heart that they would do something like that. But then again, it's just business, I guess.
It's business, but that is scummy. Like anyone that works at Blizzard, I'm sure if they don't, they should feel bad that they had to do that. Whoever told them to do that, it's just shitty.
So these are the Eddie McCooch or McCutch from GameSpot.
But Cooch.
I don't know how to say his last. Do you know McCutch?
No, I have no idea.
Makich. Blizzard tells GameSpot about Heroes changes. Reason for the scale back was other projects needed more attention. They wanted a smaller but dedicated team that will keep working on Heroes. New updates coming, but not as often, and no comment if there were layoffs.
So there were layoffs.
There's definitely layoffs. But yeah, so
especially if that question was asked, were there layoffs, and they say no comment.
Yeah. So that's why 2019 I feel like is going to be a shitty year for HOTS, of course. There's going to be no esports. Patches are going to be few and far in between. New heroes are going to be few and far in between. So, it's a sad day, especially since it's a game that me and you, that's how we met. Most of the people in our chat and in our stream and in our Discord, everybody we all met through this game. So it holds a dear place in my heart. But like I said, I don't think it's dead completely. I just think that it's going to be bleeding out for a year.
Yeah.
That's
like definitely what Pinman is saying in chat too about, Destiny 2 was such a big fail.
Yeah. Huge.
Huge fail. It just shows, especially, and then the yearly releases of Call of Duty games, casual gamers are getting burned out.
Yeah.
On a bunch of these big titles, and it's just we're getting garbage year after year. Even for like sports games now, we've reached a point for like gaming technology, graphics wise, and all this other stuff. Why would you spend $60 each Madden release? You're spending $60 on roster changes.
Yeah,
that's it now. Because graphics are already real good right now. There's no need to be like, oh my goodness, look at that. You're paying $60 for roster changes.
Also,
and more microtransactions.
That's the thing. The microtransactions, I feel like we have buyer's fatigue. Like, we don't just buy our game, we buy the game, then spend more money on it. And when you invest that much money into a game, for someone to sell you another game that you're going to invest time and money in again, it's a hard sell, dude. It has to be It has to be groundbreaking. It has to be something that it's going to take up your entire time. Where you're like, you know what, I'm going to let go of whatever I invested in that, and I'm going to invest in this game.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for people to move on from that.
Yeah. So yeah, there it is.
Just would say everyone disappointed in the HOTS change. Just play League of Legends. It's still good. I've went back to it. Having fun with it, just playing casually and trying not to get frustrated at people, and just it's nice to jump back in and just play something that's not HOTS.
Well, the truth is most people are already playing other games. Yeah. They've been playing other games way before this news was even around the corner. So that just shows you that there was a decline already. Most of the streamers have gone to playing Fortnite and League and stuff like that.
The big streamers left HOTS
a long time ago.
6 months, a year ago.
Yeah.
Like, we don't play HOTS anymore.
No.
It's been on the downfall.
I've played HOTS maybe like 3 times in the last 6 months or something like that,
Yeah, I just don't anymore.
Yeah. So there it is. Sad news, F's in chat. But you know what? I'm being optimistic. I still think Blizzard has the capability to make amazing games, and I don't think it's the end of Blizzard. I just think that this is a shift in their focus on. It's just their business. That's it. It's business.
It's restructuring.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a lot of that in 2019, 2020 across the games market as a whole.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, let's go. Let's move on. That's it. Big HOTS news is done. All right. So have you seen this Rising Storm toy soldier map? So there's two things. This one is called Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. I guess it's a Christmas special mod where you can play as Green Army Men. Did you ever
That's
play that
pretty
game on Nintendo 64?
No, wait. No, it didn't.
Dude,
I don't
look
think
at this. They're like in a fucking.
that's awesome.
How cool is this?
I actually want to play
I,
that. I actually want to.
I want to
that.
play the shit out of this game, dude.
I've never played Rising Storm. Is it just like first-person shooter, like Battlefield?
It looks like it.
Because it looks like they got vehicles and stuff.
Looks exactly like what it is, but it's like Green Army Men with helicopters, and they're in like a playroom with like Christmas lights and like furniture and stuff, Legos around. It's just,
I want this.
dude, look how cool this looks, man. It's a gritty, realistic-ish multiplayer FPS about 64 players, brutal attritional warfare with napalm strikes and flamethrowers. So it's Vietnam era.
It's like Battlefield.
Yeah, it's Vietnam era Battlefield, but you're all green and tan army men. So this news came out as like a weird mod for their game, which I didn't even know existed. So here it is.
That's cool.
It looks really cool.
I really like the way this looks.
Yeah, I like this idea too. There was an Army Men game, Army Men 64 or something like that.
I think I remember it, but I don't know if I played it.
Yeah. But so this news came out for Rising Storm 2, and then right after that, some guy posted on Reddit his game called Plastic, where it's exactly the same thing. You're green army men against tan army men, and
but that is a co-op survival game.
it's a little bit different, huh? Oh, okay. It has a destructible environment. All the buildings are made with those Lincoln logs.
Lincoln Logs, yes.
Yeah.
It's crap. I can't remember if he said it was like Squad 4v4 survival or something. I don't remember. It's third person. Looks really good.
It looks sick.
It's the map is his backyard as a kid.
5 acres of his backyard growing up,
Yeah.
and the game is called Plastic the Game. If you go to Twitter at Plastic the Game or Instagram Plastic the Game, and there's like Humvees.
It looks really cool.
It's just like it's that Rising Storm game, but way better graphics.
Yes, and it's third person instead of first person.
So, dude, I want a battle royale of this. I know battle royales are dead, but this looks so cool.
I probably would play that
Yeah.
just because it looks so cool. The game you were thinking of is Army Men Sarge's Heroes.
There it is. That's the one, I guess.
By the way.
So yeah, these Army Men games are actually, they look fun, dude. They look so fun. So I think I don't know if there's a release date or anything. Let's see here. Whoops, not what I was trying to do.
We're gonna see a comeback in Green Army Man sales as toys.
I know, right? So he joined in November 2018. This is the game. I'm guessing mid 2019 is when this thing should come out.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the majority of it is done.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Like of the core game.
Plastic the Game release date. Let's see what we find. No, it's not there. Plastic Soldiers on Steam is not the same one. Yeah, there's nothing for it. It looks like an super indie developer.
Oh, it's just one guy.
Yeah, it's one
as far
guy.
as I know.
Oh, wow.
Posted on Reddit.
It's just one guy. Wow.
I believe so. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But it was the guy. He posted on Reddit. I don't think he specified. He just said the game I've been making or something.
Oh,
like
here's
that.
his response. It's not going to be out for a while, but I'm thinking $10 to $15. I don't really know.
Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, it looked like he's probably the main person behind it. He might have some help.
Yeah, especially after this. So yeah, there it is. We'll keep a close eye on it. We'll let you guys know what's going on. All right. Next piece of news. Google will shut down Google Plus 4 months early after second data leak. Dude, Google Plus was so embarrassing, man. From beginning to
Hugely
end,
embarrassing.
it never did well, dude. It never fucking did it, dude.
No, and it never had the potential either, in my opinion. Like the UI was bad, the design was bad. It didn't bring anything. It didn't bring anything to the table for social media, other than they forced you to get one for YouTube.
Dude, they didn't just force you to get one. They made you one. If you have a Gmail, you have a Google Plus account. That's it.
Yeah, everything's connected now. So I guess they're just removing the Google Plus part of it because I don't. It's just weird. It's funny. People just don't use it. Everyone's got an account. Nobody uses it.
They forced people to use it. They try to incentivize it. They got to the point where they were like, if you want to use this, you have to sign into your Google Plus. And it's like, okay, man, I guess I'll sign into my Google Plus because I want to access this like feature on a website. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they fucking got a data leak. So yeah, I'm pretty sure someone has my credit card info.
Second one, I didn't even know that they were shutting it down.
Jesus Christ.
That's how like I think that's like how low on the radar Google Plus is for everybody because this is like the second announcement about it closing. So and I never heard any talk of it closing. So nobody fucking even gives a shit. Nobody's like, "Oh, do you hear Google Plus is shutting down?"
No.
Everyone's like, "What? That thing's still a thing?"
Everyone was
Nobody
waiting
cares.
for it to die, and then it says the new vulnerability impacted 52.5 million users who have had their profile information, like their
Oh, that's great.
name,
Great.
email
So
address.
That means if you got a YouTube account, if you have a Gmail,
Yeah. But look at this.
All this
Look at this
stuff.
info. How awesome is this for advertisers? Name, email address, occupation, and age, even if your account was set to private.
nice, perfect.
Holy shit, dude. Insane. So yeah, they're finally shutting it down. So F's in chat, I guess. Fucking Google Plus. Alright, let's move on. Next piece of news. I just thought it was funny that it was still around. Fallout 76 players are logging in and spawning as other player characters. I don't even know what to do with this info, dude. I'm more interested in this right here. Kanye West is seeking out Hideo Kojima and fans are worried. What is that?
Wait, what? Just hold on. Open that up.
Yeah,
and
fuck
look
this news. Who cares?
I want to hear what this is.
Sometimes it's weird to think that rapper Kanye West exists in the same world. Blah blah blah. Okay, after thoroughly checking, he wants to meet up with him, and the question is why. That's all we know. So why are they worried?
That's it. So heard Kojima's in New York. We need to meet. Does anyone know where he is or how to contact him? Then later tweeted Kojima directly saying, "Let's please meet today." What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
If Kanye gets into Death Stranding, I'll be furious.
It's too late for that. But this is more compelling news than anything about 76.
I know, man. But anyway, I'm sure Kojima's fine. He's fine.
Yeah,
But
just stay away from Kanye Kojima.
do you know what this is? What happened, man? What else with this fucking logging in as other people? Most recently was the fact about the game had gone, okay, I already know all
I know.
that.
You want to know what's crazy about this too? This is, I guess, again, it just shows on how making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision on a bad product that you barely developed and then was forced to release to people that didn't want it. How all of this bad news can just compile on each other to make everything so much worse. Path of Exile, before or right after the Betrayal League came out, had I think it was a really small window, luckily. It was a couple hour window
Yeah.
of people logging into other people's characters.
Oh, wow, really?
Like go into the character select
And
would I think it only affected a couple people. But that happened at Path of Exile for a very short hour or so with a couple people. And it was reported on Reddit. They addressed it like super quick. I don't know what all the solutions were. I don't know if they rolled back some people's items for some people that accidentally, moved other people's items around. I don't know what ended up happening there, but one of the reasons we really don't know too is nobody's writing articles about that.
no, they're just so tired of it, dude.
Because Path of Exile is doing fine. There's no other bad news. Had a great update come out. One bad thing happened. Nobody's really picking up on it.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. It goes away. This, however, is just yet another thing that Bethesda has fucked up on.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the
So,
article.
There's going to be tons of articles about this happening.
People are just saying, yeah, I just logged in and I'm playing someone else's character. Another one said, my hundreds of hours and 110 levels, as well as my collection of plants, all gone. Glorious. And people are, it's just, I didn't see any response from Bethesda here, so I'm pretty sure that they're trying to fix it. But they don't know if their account was compromised because of data leaks or because it's just something wrong with their login.
It's possible. It's probably just something wrong with their login servers, because that's kind of what happened with Path of Exile.
Yeah.
Is they would be logged in and they would go exit to the player select screen or the character select screen, and that's what was broken. Like if you were logged in and then you would exit to the character select screen, that's when it would like switch accounts somehow.
Yeah, it would.
Something was
They
happening.
cross streams.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So I'm sure it's something going on with the login servers that are causing this.
good job, Bethesda.
Good job, Bethesda.
We'll see you next week.
We're doing it again.
We'll see you next week, guys. All right, next piece of news. Street Fighter V. By the way, I just want to say thank you to everybody that gives us these articles. This was turned in, and I think the other one was turned in by Prince, but everybody else, Moggers, all you guys that give us articles, Kaiser, thank you so much. But anyway, Street Fighter V is getting in-game ads that reward players for keeping them on. So ads are coming to Street Fighter V. While they can be turned off, players who skip them will miss out on some incentives. So I think it has to do with, as far as microtransactions go in Street Fighter V, they're mostly just skins, which are like DLC items and stuff. So I'm not sure if they're gonna go like the mobile gaming route with like, gems and shit.
Luckily, the reason this in itself is not a deal at all, because it's all internal advertisement.
Yeah.
It's like
for now.
a MOBA.
For now.
It's like a MOBA advertising. Here's our new tournament new tournament coming up. Hey, look at these skins. Oh, look, a bundle on sale. It's like that, but in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Like you see the Ryu and Balrog have these special skins that are simply advertising the tournament league.
Yeah.
For Street Fighter. They're going to have stuff like that. They're going to have ads letting you know about skin sales, new skins, or upcoming events in the game and stuff like that. It's all internal advertisement.
For now,
The
motherfucker. For now.
Exactly. For now. That's where it becomes funny, is how long until we start seeing other advertisements in games like we do in mobile games. You get a mobile game, especially the free mobile games, and you just get ad pop-ups all the time.
Dude, how long until Ryu's Hadoukens are just Coke cans flying at people? Or Zangief just fucking crushes a Pepsi can on his forehead right before he starts the match?
Yeah, Kaiser, you're correct. Some of the ads, or I guess like most of like the ads, they're not going to just be like pop-up ads. A lot of the ads are occurring during loading screens. And Capcom has specifically said, because they were asked, this is not going to affect load times. They're just putting the ads during the load time. They're not extending load times, which is good until someone does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because someone will.
I mean,
they will say, before you jump into this match, like League of Legends, you jump on, you see the loading screen for a couple minutes so everyone loads in. How long until a company's like, we're going to put like a 5-minute ad in there that everybody has to watch.
Yeah.
So regardless of loading time, 5-minute ad, 10-minute ad of, how long until someone tries something like that?
Well, we already have it in the film industry. You see it in movies all the time. It's integrated ads. That's what they call it. When Captain America is calling Tony Stark, they make sure that there's a fucking clear shot of him touching his Samsung phone, and like the generic Samsung ringtone that it goes off when people call him, and then he drinks his Coke and his Pepsi, and he drives in his Chevy Camaro. So it's like it's been happening.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time whether it happens into video games, and this is just the beginning, dude.
Absolutely. And of course, product placement, not as bad or invasive as pre-roll ads. Like, so you go to a movie and you get ads on ads on ads for movies before you get to to see the movie, right?
Yeah.
How long until the games companies that have like these loading screens and stuff start trying to pump ads into the loading screens, and not just while the screen is loading or while the game is loading, but as a precursor, like you have to sit through the ad regardless of how long it takes for the game to load,
Yeah.
where it starts increasing, load screen timers because you got to see an ad.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. The other thing is, I don't mind ads, just like I don't mind ads on YouTube and, whatever else, as long as there is a good reward system, either for the content creator or for me, the person that's the consumer. What am I getting through watching this ad? Am I getting like
Right.
currency items? Am I getting, a chance to get a skin?
Something, because the other big issue there, like Capcom's doing it correctly. You can turn them off.
Yeah.
You turn them on, you get rewards. Because the issue here is, especially when you start looking at the possibility of outside companies advertising inside games, is that I paid $60 to have Coke ads still in this video. Like,
Straight
I
up.
bought the thing. Why are ads in it?
Yeah.
You made the money from my purchase. Why should I be okay with you putting ads in it?
Because there's more money.
Correct. So the idea that Capcom is doing here, they're being very smart about it, letting you turn them off and giving you in-game incentives to have them on.
Yeah.
Very smart.
All right. Well, that's it. I mean, like I said, it's just a matter of time until fucking you're playing StarCraft and you see a banner that says, drink Pepsi.
Yeah.
So, let's go. Next piece of news. Cecilia D'Anastasio fucking up Riot Games again. Top Riot executive suspended without pay following investigation over workplace misconduct.
Jesus Christ. What is going on with Riot?
You know what, though, man? I read this article, and first of all, this fucking formatting needs to go.
Too many heated gamer moments happening over it.
Let me just
Riot.
let me just make this a little smaller, just so I can.
It's not going to work. Kotaku wants you to see
I
that
know,
ad.
man. Jesus Christ, Kotaku. But anyway, reading through this though, so the guy's name is Scott Gelb. He was suspended without pay, but not fired. He was not terminated. And this is the
Okay.
guy that would allegedly go around doing nut taps on guys, like hitting
Oh
people.
my god. Just so everyone hears what this man has just spoken.
Yeah.
The COO of a major games company, Riot, was walking around nut tapping employees.
Look, this is what he would do. He would participated in ball tapping, farting on employees, or humping them for comedic effect. And this employee said it just became so normal. The ball grabbing, things like that, was absolutely well known across the board. So obviously
Christ.
that made this. The argument is it made a fraternal mindset where
Right.
it's just a frat house in there. People are nut
Which
tapping.
even I, as a guy
Mhm.
that's okay with this kind of behavior, like in friend groups or something,
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that in a business scenario.
No.
I don't want my boss, my COO, or anyone else, CIO, or any executive, or even coworker, running around ball tapping me, humping my leg, stuff like that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is a company. It's not a frat house, and it's not your internal group of friends goofing around that know each other, that know your boundaries, and all this other stuff.
Yeah, so, but they pretty much, so people ask them, like, why isn't he being terminated? And, fuck, man, if I can find what they said. Scott, okay, here, this is,
Control F.
there it is. No, here it is. So they said, why wasn't he fucking terminated for those kinds of things, Which any other normal company would do. Laurent concluded, which is another CEO or something, Scott could have avoided owning his past and his consequences. He could have left Riot, but he chose ownership and redemption. I will root for him. I'll support him through this journey, and will leverage him as a great leader when he returns next year. I hope you will join me. That's literally what they said.
I'm okay with that.
Dude,
No.
but I'm not okay with saying, oh, he could have quit his job. Why would he quit his job?
What he's saying is
Instead of being
he
embarrassed?
could have. Well, yeah, like he could have just not owned up to it, not accepted to go do whatever the punishment is, and then come back and continue to try to lead these people that he harassed. He could have just left is what he's saying. He could have just avoided those kind of consequences. But leaving is a consequence in itself. I don't like how he said it that way,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with people allowing for paths of redemption, even in this kind of scenario. The dude was acting inappropriate because he felt too much like like it was a frat environment or something. I don't know. It was stupid decisions, but I feel like this isn't an issue where he's predatorily harassing people into like sexual favors or stuff like that.
No, it's not like that, but it promotes a weird culture in a business
It
workplace.
does.
And look right here, several current Riot employees interviewed by Kotaku are furious about the decision. They said, I think it's pretty telling that Riot's commitment to changing their culture only goes as far as firing people who aren't already insulated. And for Riot
Yeah.
leadership, protecting their awful friends matters more than protecting their vulnerable employees. And that isn't going to change unless the workers do something about it directly, which is correct. I think you terminate this guy for that kind of behavior to set an example, to be honest with you. And I don't like people losing their jobs, you know? They have a family and stuff like that. But
Right.
I have a family. If I go around nut tapping my coworkers, I can expect not to be able to have a job the next day, dude.
100%. Yeah, that I can see like both sides to it. I think he probably should have been fired
Yeah.
if you actually want to change the environment.
Yeah.
But I can also understand the idea of giving someone a path to redemption. So I mean, I think he should have been fired, but I can understand where some people might come from that angle.
Yeah. So that's it. But yeah, Cecilia D'Anastasio, shout out. Try to
Again, her and Jason Schreier are like Kotaku's only saving
dude.
graces.
If those two leave, it's over. It's fucking over for Kotaku. So yeah, next piece of news. Oh man, China forms new ethics committee to review video games. So 20 titles already processed, but 9 rejected, and 11 need to eliminate more hazards.
Moral hazards.
And what this means is we saw a lot of news where people are like, PUBG is banned, Fortnite is banned. And while it is semi-true, it wasn't really... like, you could still... If you're in China right now, you can play PUBG. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not gone. But...
Not yet.
Not yet. They pretty much told them, like, you got to clean it up. And they will. And this is not something different than what's already been in place. You know, Heroes of the Storm, they had to take away all the skeletons from their games. And
Right. There's special releases because Diablo is popular in China, but there's things that have been done to the game to reskin it to make it okay in China.
yeah. There's, like, different
So
versions of the game. There's even games where, like, it's
Yes.
not even the same game. It's, like, a different... Like, Company of Heroes, I remember their Chinese release is a completely different game. It has, like... instead of it being like a real-time strategy game, there's like inventory and like you can put like weapons on your guys, and it's like that's stuff you couldn't do in the American release. So yeah, the Chinese market is just, think of it like another planet. That's what you should think about. You know, it's another world.
And this is just, they've always had these standards, you know, moral whatever. They have these weird things about skeletons and other stuff like that. They've always had this. This is just a new ethics committee reviewing games.
Yeah.
They're telling all these games that, hey, you have to change these things. Like, it's weird because, like, I think Fortnite got in trouble for, like, violence and gore.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no violence. But then there's other things like League of Legends that are getting in trouble for the way that their art depicts the females.
Yeah.
For being too scantily cladded.
Yeah.
So, like, China is being China, and it's hardcore cracking down on some of the stuff that they want changed because they're, like they do, they want to insulate their society from everyone else and control.
Yeah. There is no freedom
of
of
that kind of
art.
thing.
There's no freedom of expression. There's no freedom of speech. It's a different world. They run by different laws, and the government rules in a different way. So this is just, it is what it is. I was curious to see if Tencent got any leniency, but they actually didn't.
They didn't.
No.
They got, nope.
Ring of Elysium, which is a Tencent game, and PUBG Mobile is a Tencent game. Both of those games
just-
were on the list. So
Yeah. And just the fact that Riot got hit and Epic Games got hit. I think Tencent outright owns Riot.
yeah.
And
Through stocks.
Tencent has a and then Tencent has 40% of Epic stock.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
they're not being lenient, obviously, even for their own God-chosen companies like Tencent.
Yeah, that's their homie on the inside. So yeah. All right. That's it. Let's move on. Next piece of news. Boosting now a offense in South Korea. How fucking awesome is that? So
This is ridiculous.
the practice involves playing on a low-skilled player's account to artificially boost their rankings, often for a fee. So a lot of us know what boosting is. You get somebody that's really good at the game. That person plays on a newbie's account, gets them all the unlocks, gets them all the cool ranks and stuff like that, and for money. So
Yep.
now it's illegal in Korea, which is crazy if you think about it. I wonder why.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So parts of it, make sense whenever you outlaw any sort of transactional thing. The government owns money. The government owns your money.
Yeah.
So to an extent, I don't know, I guess whatever you want to call it, philosophical level, they have the right to restrict what you can do with said money. Could be an argument being made. So it makes sense that they're like, oh, well, you can't do this because you're getting around whatever it is system in the game. It could be even doing things to avoid paying money to unlock the things you want. Because if you're not spending enough time or grinding enough to get all the champions with blue essence, well, you could pay someone to just grind out a bunch of games and get the essence you need to unlock champions, so that you don't gotta pay Riot the money.
Yeah.
Because it might be cheaper to pay someone else to simply grind it out for you.
And then if you don't pay Riot the money, then the taxes are not taken from that money. This is tax-free money you're getting put in your own pocket. And even though it circulates back into the economy, they're not getting their piece of the pie. So I get it.
I mean, that's
that makes
just
sense.
one angle. Who knows? I mean, to be very racist here suddenly, there's a lot of these Asian countries.
Disgusting. You're disgusting.
Disgusting. No, these Asian countries, they're very serious about a lot of this stuff in video games. Like
Yeah.
we were just talking about China, and now South Korea. Big things happening with the way that they view and interact with video games as a country.
Well, yeah, esports is huge in South Korea. So, a lot of the best fucking players from all over the world come from South Korea, especially like StarCraft and even dude HOTS. It was ridiculous. Like in HOTS, it was like they're in their own world. They're the number one. They're the in and out. Okay, we're just battling for number two. Okay, over here. So, but I guess it would make sense for them to be doing it because it's part of their zeitgeist. That whole esports and stuff like that. So I guess it makes sense.
It's much more culturally prominent, which makes more sense for laws like this to be passed. I think it's ridiculous to have such a law, but I mean, it makes sense for them as a country.
Yeah, you could. So
to be doing something like this.
Anybody caught can face up to $18,000 in fines and 2 years in prison. So
holy, 2 years suspended.
It's
so it's like being on probation.
Well, it says 2 years suspended prison sentence.
Yeah. Usually that's like being on probation, because that's what we call it. Suspended is like having the sentence probated.
Yeah, I think going to jail.
So it would be like. It would be ridiculous, but that also means if they do something else during that period of time, they probably go to prison.
Yeah, so that's true. You have a little bit of weed on you after you did some boosting, you're done.
You probably
you're fucking
damn boosters.
You're getting raped in Korean
FBI
jail.
breaking in. Could you imagine that though? Like having an FBI raid on some booster's house.
He's like fucking in his underwear playing WoW. It's like, whose account is that? It's mine. Yeah? Is it yours?
Mine, yeah?
Tell it.
Start beating it.
Tell it to the judge. Oh, man, that's funny. All right, next piece of news. Korea, you crazy. Fortnite porn is now bigger than Overwatch porn. First of all, that doesn't make any sense to me because Fortnite doesn't have any characters.
No, well, they got their, the skins that are the characters.
Yeah, but I'm not attached to the skins. All right.
Yeah, but those 12-year-olds sure as hell
I
are.
know. Apparently,
And they get to see that fat booty running in front of them all day with their victory royales.
I feel like the Overwatch one should be way more popular, dude. What the hell, man?
It was until now.
What happened, dude? How did this happen? It comes in at number 15 in Pornhub's top searches, and Overwatch is number 20. Well,
It's kids, dude. That's what it is.
Bowsette was like number 1 in certain countries.
Jesus.
How hilarious is that?
Asians, you crazy.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's kids. This is what it is.
Yeah.
It's teens, young kids. They sit there, they play the games. They're gamers. They got to get their gamer juices flowing. They're looking at those Fortnite skins all day. Oh, well, you want to go jerk off? Well, more Fortnite.
Well, especially look at that picture they have in this article. Look at those brows, dude.
You know someone's jerking off to those
Oh,
brows.
of course, dude. Those are like top-notch brows. But it's just so weird to me because I always thought that it was like the connection to the character. Like, oh, you want to see Pharah and Diva having some fun. But this is like, they don't even have names. It's just a generic skin. You know what I mean? And Moggers is saying one is mostly teens and kids. Teens hitting puberty mostly. And can you maybe not use the term gamer juices when talking about kids playing Fortnite? Yeah, that John Wick skin does get me going too. You're right, Prince.
It gets my gamer juices flowing.
Yep. And I'm gonna release my gamer gunk. Oh,
What's worse though too about all this is, of course, it's teens and stuff driving these searches most likely. Someone's making this porn though, by the way.
dude, they make money,
Just
dude.
reminder,
They make so much fucking money from that.
that there's these animators sitting there making these.
The thing is that some of them might not even have like the passion for it. As like they're what I mean to say is maybe they're not as attracted to it.
This is so fucking weird too, because I guess it's the most searched, but there's not a lot of results coming up.
No, but people want it. The demand is
By
there.
the way, I just so everyone knows, I just looked it up.
The demand is there. Dude.
There's not a whole lot, but it's still the most searched. So people are looking.
Why are we not funding this?
Why are we not funding this? A lot of 3D animations. There's just some amateur in front of someone playing it.
Well,
There's
remember
several videos involving people fucking while playing Fortnite for some reason.
I've seen
and
that
then
phenomenon.
Just a bunch of 3D animations, the fake Twitch streaming porn.
Dude, remember when we had Moggers and Game User on? Game User said he commissions a lot of his furry art because people,
I know.
the people make money from just doing these like animated GIFs or videos or whatever.
Well, and especially because Pornhub is like, the YouTube of porn.
Yeah, exactly. They have AdSense.
People can make money, I guess, doing this kind of shit. And there's just like a lot of weird 3D animations of like Fortnite skins. That's like weird, dude.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just thought it was weird. I didn't think anything would trump Overwatch, to be honest.
Yeah,
So,
just because Overwatch is so popular and they have so many distinct characters.
I mean, people, they need to step it up, I guess. We need a full length film, I guess, or something.
We need a full length, triple rated Overwatch film.
Lock the door. Make sure your parents are on vacation, kids.
I need that Anna Graham porn, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I know what to parental lock. I swear, if I walk in the room and Donnie's watching some shit like this,
watching some Fortnite porn,
I'll punt him out the fucking window.
Get out of my house.
It's over. All right, next piece of news. Oh boy, you're gonna like this. Oh no, not what the fuck is the IGN, dude? What is this? It's like,
oh wait, Rami Malek is. Oh, dude.
No, it's not.
What was the? No, go back to the Rami Malek news.
What is this, Rami Malek?
I don't give a shit about Sonic.
Bond? He's the new Bond.
Hold on. Oh.
What? What are we reading?
Hold on. No, I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I'm past this. I want to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, dude. It's gonna win an Oscar, all right?
Rami Malek was eyed for the villain role in Bond 25. I was just talking to my wife several days ago about how I want Rami Malek to play a villain.
I think he would be a good villain.
Damn right he would.
But yeah, these Sonic the Hedgehog posters are terrible, dude. I don't know if you've seen them. From the producers
Yes,
of
I
Fast
have.
and the Furious.
Yes.
Which, by the way, that's...
a whole new speed of hero, baby. Gotta go fast.
By the way, the Fast and Furious thing, that's who you have to have doing it. Like, you can't have anyone else doing it.
This is,
You have to.
it's just seeing the silhouette is so incredibly disturbing.
Yeah, because look at
And
the eyeball,
unsettling.
dude. A lot of people like try to do
Just-
the other eye, and it ended up being...
Not even just that, but the legs
Yeah.
and the arms.
Yeah, there's another one. It just doesn't make sense. It just looks really weird. But Jesus Christ, these ads. You know what, IGN? I'm done with this article. Just because of you. Alright, never again. Never again.
Dude, stop go. I refuse to go to any IGN page.
I'm done
'cause
with
it's
them.
all fucking cancer.
Let's move on. Next piece of news. Bounding into comics, alright? Ubisoft producer calls for industry blacklisting of PewDiePie. Do you know why people are hating on him again?
Yes.
Okay.
And because okay, so you I don't know if you're up to speed on YouTube in general or anything like that, but you know the whole PewDiePie versus T-Series memes?
Yeah, I know that. So just to explain to
So,
most people...
For the whole there is an Indian production company called T-Series, which has a YouTube channel that is steadily growing. It is right behind PewDiePie at like 75 million subscribers. There were some memes made by PewDiePie, and then suddenly like this meme caught on where it was like PewDiePie versus T-Series, and YouTubers were going around. Everyone was trying to get people to subscribe to PewDiePie to keep fighting T-Series and all this other stuff. That's sort of the baseline of understanding of what the meme is.
Yeah.
Well, he put out a video to just be like finally telling people, okay, we're done with the meme. Because one, he's had a video for months that he's been wanting to put out for when T-Series finally passes him.
Oh,
He's
really?
he hasn't been able to put out because people keep doing new campaigns. Mr. Beast bought billboard signs all over his hometown.
Yeah.
Even Logan Paul.
I've even
told
seen
people to
some
subscribe
people
to
like put it
PewDiePie.
in their... They've put it in their YouTube videos, right? Like
People
subliminally.
put it in their YouTube videos. Markiplier made a video, said, I will literally not shut up until you subscribe to PewDiePie. And it was like a 10-minute video of him just telling everyone to subscribe to PewDiePie over and over and over and over again.
Jesus.
There's also... It's been a good little bit for a bunch of good memes. Then, of course, PewDiePie's... what's it called? When you make a song against somebody?
Diss track?
Diss track. He had put out a diss track against T-Series called Bitch Lasagna.
That's a great fucking... Dude, he knows his audience, man, of kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, and it's fucking hilarious. You should all go watch Bitch Lasagna.
Yeah.
But so in this video where he was like, he's sort of like saying he's done with the meme of him versus T-Series. He's gonna let it go, or whatever. He thanked everyone for it. He shouted out this charity called Cry. He raised, I think, over $150,000 through crowdsourcing for the charity Cry,
Mhm.
which helps dealing with child labor in India. And then he also shouted out 28 small YouTube channels that he has enjoyed content from.
One of them is this ER channel.
One of them is a channel called E::R. And PewDiePie shouted him out specifically because PewDiePie had seen his Death Note video essays, which were really good. I went and watched the video essays.
Mhm.
They are all very good. The problem is that E::R is politically on the right
Mm-hmm.
and uses Nazi jokes.
Oh.
So, what has happened is the media, of course, if PewDiePie did something, you know that people instantly went to all these channels and started looking through all of their backlogs for anything that they could pin on PewDiePie.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And so they found some edgy jokes from E::R on some of his other videos, on some of his backlog of videos. And so now the headline is that PewDiePie told all of his subscribers to go look at this anti-Semitic content,
And then
which in itself isn't true.
no, it's not.
But PewDiePie, again, because he's wanted to distance himself from the whole Nazi jokes,
Yeah.
he went ahead and removed E:/R from the video. He said in his apology video, which was just an episode of Pew News,
Yeah.
he said, not that there's anything wrong. He doesn't think there's anything wrong with the jokes or the references, but he's wanted to distance himself from those in the past because of the mainstream media. So he is continuing to do so and removed ER from the list. And then he made fun of The Verge
And stuff
for
like
the
that.
article because they didn't do the proper research after accusing him of not doing proper research and all this other kind of stuff.
So Diana Laura, she is a studio head for the Division and Ubisoft Studios.
Mhm.
She writes enough on December 10th, 2018. She writes, "Enough is enough, gaming industry. I'm going to need you to end this dude. You know exactly who you are. Cut ties with him now. It is important to call out consistent shitty behavior from folks who consistently act shitty. Excusing his actions desensitizes people and blah, 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 blah." So she's calling, it's a call for action to try to get PewDiePie off the internet. I don't know, make him unsuccessful. I don't know, all these things.
It's funny too because PewDiePie's channel does not live as a gaming channel. What ties does he have to the gaming industry that she's even talking about? She's out of touch with reality already, and then on top of that, being a complete fucking moron with her tweets. PewDiePie does not exist in this realm where he depends on the game industry at all. None of his content is gaming related except for occasional small games he plays like once every 6 months.
Dude, it's all, first of all, we can nip all this in the bud by remembering that this is an entertainment show. It's entertainment. It's a joke, dude. Nothing that he says, he doesn't believe anything that he says, okay? He knows his audience. He makes his success from his audience. He knows what his audience wants. He makes jokes that are racy jokes, keeps them in the news, blah, blah, blah. People look into it way too much because it's just a fucking joke.
And then lie about it. They don't even just do that. They lie about it. They lie about context because they need the clicks because they're dying media.
It's a joke, dude. A joke should never be taken seriously. I don't understand. Like, it's just whatever he says, even if he says, kill all the Jews. If he says that in his videos in a joking manner, it's a joke, dude. That's all it is. He doesn't really believe those things. I don't know, man.
But it doesn't matter. You can't make jokes like that.
Especially,
you can't, people are now offended simply like saying the word Nazi.
But how stupid do you have to be, though, man?
H3H3's new video.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
You should. The Fine Bros are doing this new series called Does It Hold Up? Where they're having like college students or teens watch old content from like the 90s and stuff.
Oh.
Well, their first episode was of Seinfeld. And none of the teens liked it.
Yeah, of course.
They thought it was horribly offensive. All this other stuff. And it was just like, that's the fucking joke.
Yeah.
Like, the entire cast of Seinfeld is a group of fucking sociopaths.
Yeah.
And that's the joke.
That's the whole joke, that they're terrible
every
people.
interaction that they have is that they're terrible people and they don't pick up on social cues and they're self-centered and all this other stuff.
And you know what that spawned? Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Correct. Which is huge and doing just well.
It was inspired by Seinfeld, and they were people growing up that watched Seinfeld and were like, man, I want to make movies one day too. And it inspired them to get off their ass, try something, take risks, put it all on the line, and be successful in their craft. And we don't see that. We don't talk about that. Instead, we talk about the content, which out of context is offensive, but in context, the context that it's a comedy, it's humorous.
You just can't make jokes. You can't make jokes about offensive material. You can't make offensive jokes. You can't do anything these days. And that is showing us that because this new generation of fucking retards are gonna be flooding the market and being offended by everything. This new generation of sensitive little offended people about everything are the new puritanicals.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be conservatives. Well, now it's this new generation of ultra left Puritans that are gonna fucking ruin society.
Yeah. So there it is. So make sure you subscribe to PewDiePie. All right, guys. Next piece of news. Well, this will answer a lot of questions on why an Ubisoft producer calls for industry backlash or whatever, blacklisting. So apparently there was a leaked Ubisoft document that revealed social justice-based company culture. So
Yep.
I went through this article and it's kind of it's terrible, dude. So apparently there's parts of the article where they're showing their employees, their designers and stuff like that. Like, look at this one. This is it looks like an asset. It's an urn from maybe Assassin's Creed Origins game. And on the urn is men and women together. It's kind of weird. But it's the text on the left says, here both girls and boys are shown attending a class given by one of the rhetoricians of the era. Teachers, a rhetorician. It's weird. But the team made the choice to show both genders attending class within the context of the game world. Even though it is historically inaccurate, the team felt it was not necessary to prioritize historical sexism over inclusive gameplay. So inclusion over authenticity is what Ubisoft is trying to preach to their... So imagine you work at Ubisoft and you get this company letter in your email. You open the PDF and there's a bunch of photos like that of examples of where you can include other genders, other races, other sexes, where they historically were not always there into the game, so we can make sure that everyone is included and everyone is accounted for in our games, which is a strange thing to do when you have a game like Assassin's Creed that literally has taught people history. People have learned about history through these video games because of its authenticity. And now they're just jumping ship on that idea and deciding to do forced inclusion.
It's the culture within these big companies is just cancer on society. It's the exact same thing with EA and DICE with Battlefield 5. It's this uncaring about the consumer is just uneducated. It's none of that matters. None of historical accuracy matters. Reality doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is their worldview, which is if you shoehorn all of these things into your games, that you are pioneering for a better society.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just incorrect. You're not these fucking warriors for a better society. You're a fucking entertainment industry.
So apparently it says the majority of the leaked video consists of shots such as the one above. What we're looking at is just a woman with an orange background talking to the camera, scolding you for being a piece of shit. Where Ubisoft employees speaks to the camera concerning their opinions and views on the benefits of diversity. All employees are identified by their first name and the city of their branch. And here's another quote. Another way to increase diversity is to have strong look at what we do in terms of recruitment. It's important to look at 3 criteria when we recruit. Can we guess what it is? The 2 first ones are the following. We look at hard and technical skills, okay? Those are first at least.
That's probably a lie.
We look at soft skills and the cultural fit with Ubisoft. I think it's also...
Cultural fit.
Yeah, cultural fit. So if you're Asian and we have enough Asians in here, sorry, man. I don't care if you're qualified, all right? Then I think it's also important to look at the 3rd criteria, the complementary within the team. What is missing within the team? What kind of profiles are missing? In order to really build a diversity.
These are all fucking, as I'm going to turn it on its head, these are dog whistles for race.
There isn't enough handicapped black people in our team, all right?
Right.
So that's...
It's bad. It's forced inclusion for the sake of it. And of course, to clarify, when they say diversity, whenever any of these far left ideologues say diversity, they do not mean true diversity. They don't mean diversity of opinion or thought or philosophy or creed. They simply mean superficial diversity of things like skin color and gender. Everything else has to be conformist.
Yeah.
You have to think the same way that everyone else thinks. You have to accept the same ideology that everyone else accepts, or you will not be welcome.
Isn't it
This is not diversity.
isn't it racist in a way to hold race and gender or all these things to such high importance? Is it like,
Yes.
if I'm black and I don't want you to talk about me being black. I don't want you to talk about, any of that. I just want you to look at my resume and look at all the hard work I've done and hire me because of my hard work. I don't want you to
Yes,
be like,
but
oh,
as
you're a
part-
good fit because we need a black guy on that team.
Right. Yes, but why would you do that when, as part of this new generation, you could simply adopt a victimhood mentality and get what you want through that sort of protest?
Yeah.
It is racist. It's race oriented. It's gender oriented. It's things that now and I'm being very specific to separate what I'm saying when I say terms like far left and liberal. They're not the same thing. Well, I'm referring to the far left.
Yeah.
The far left minority ideologues that push these kind of agendas in these kind of places where they have these strongholds, where they require these strongholds.
They're extremists, man.
Um,
just like the far right
they're
are extremists.
Correct. So, and the only reason we're talking about this is because it's the topic of this industry right now.
Yeah.
I am liberal, but these people are far left ideologues, and that's all they care about is pushing that agenda. Right now, on the far left sphere of things, it's racist to imply that race doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's racist to imply that we should be, quote unquote, colorblind.
Yeah.
Not caring about race or not caring about gender in itself now is labeled as racist, sexist, or
Yeah.
misogynist.
No, it's so easy to be labeled as these terrible things that cannot come off your record, dude. There is a public record where it's public knowledge. If one story comes out, that's your job, it's your livelihood. They want you to burn, dude. They don't want you to just lose your
Yes,
job.
correct.
They want you to never
They
be
want you
able
to-
to
they-
get one.
Correct. They don't want you to be alive.
Yeah. It doesn't
Let's just
matter
be
whether
honest.
you apologize. It doesn't matter what you do. You can change your gender on the spot and they still want to burn you alive, dude.
But only if you're in their ideologue. If you're not in their ideologue camp. Let's look at Kevin Hart, for example.
Yeah.
He wouldn't, he's had a very practical stance on what he said. There's some nuance in his issue here, but he said he doesn't want to apologize. He's addressed it in the past. He's a different person now. He's not going to apologize to the outrage just to apologize.
Yeah.
People will attack him. He didn't toe the line. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. So people say he is a homophobe. He is this. He will never be more than that. They don't ever want him to work again because of this. Whereas you have the James Gunn situation. Exact same thing happens. Exact same thing happens.
Yeah.
But he made some edgy pedophile jokes.
Yeah.
Well, since he's a far leftist and does toe the line, suddenly people were like, oh, that was so long ago. Oh, they were just jokes.
Yeah.
It's these joke police on both the far left and the far right that are just destroying society in these sort of environments.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
It's ridiculous.
this was the timeline. The Oscars announced him as the host. He was like, this is a lifelong dream of
Cool.
mine. This is going to be great. Which, by the way, the Oscars hasn't seen a growth in their viewership, and I don't even know how many years. It's been on a steady decline. This was probably going to be one of those things that helps their viewership. And then they turn around and they tell him that you have to step down and apologize. And he said, no, I'm going to step down. I'm not going to apologize on your terms. I'm going to step down and I'm going to apologize on my own terms. Because he did eventually apologize, but he was on his own terms. And now the Oscar and the Academy is thinking, we might just go on without a host this next year coming up.
Probably a good idea.
Dude, the Oscars are
How
garbage.
how about the Academy just burn to the ground?
Yeah,
Because that's really what it should do.
yeah.
I don't like the Oscars. If you could,
No, nobody likes the Oscars. No.
it's bullshit. But it's just the symptoms. It's like neither Kevin Hart nor James Gunn should have gotten in any trouble.
No.
I'm just gonna say that full stop. You make some edgy jokes, you make some offensive statements or whatever. Your career shouldn't be over. You shouldn't be held liable for the person you used to be, especially in like James Gunn's scenario where it's like, oh, he made some edgy pedophile jokes,
Yeah.
several years ago.
Are they poor
He said
taste?
that-
Are they
Yes,
unfunny?
and he said he recognizes that they were in poor taste. He doesn't make jokes like that anymore. He was trying back then. That was sort of part of his persona, was he was trying to be edgy, and he realizes it didn't really land, and he stopped doing that sort of
Yeah.
thing. But it doesn't matter. His career should be over because I'm offended.
Yeah, because apology and clarification of your intent means nothing. It means nothing.
Doesn't mean anything.
It's over.
It's you're a horrible person. You're a pedophile.
You're the worst
because you made
person.
those
You're not
jokes.
just a horrible person. You're the worst kind of person. You're the kind of person that's
Yes.
ruining our
human
society.
garbage, trash.
No, they label you as a person that's literally destroying our society. That because of you, this is
Yes.
a world that kids are gonna grow up in. Like they take it to
Right.
that extreme, dude. It's like relax, man. What the fuck are you talking about, man? He has a family. You know what I mean? He has a kid that's like gonna go hungry. You know, theoretically.
Don't you dare humanize that person.
Yeah. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Don't you dare humanize that human being that I disagree with.
Yeah. All right. Next piece of news. I didn't want to get too political. Yeah. Let's see. Next piece of news. I think this will be the last one because the next two are really duds. So I'm going to delete the next two. So this next one is going to be the last one. So streamer arrested for allegedly assaulting his partner during a live stream. Did you see this shit, dude?
Yes.
So the way I saw
What's
this, Mr. Deadmoth is his name.
Mr. Deadmoth.
He's an Australian streamer, or New Zealand, I don't know, somewhere around. Yeah, Australian streamer. I saw this from Keemstar. He posted it on his Twitter. He said, "Hey, check out this abuser," and it was literally a Twitch clip of what it looked like was his wife or girlfriend or something was trying to get him to stop streaming and get up off of his ass and help with the house, and
Dinner was ready.
dinner was
it was
ready.
that. Yes, it was that dinner was ready. She wanted him to come eat dinner and stop playing Fortnite.
And he said he did the fucking every gamer's excuse. Give me a minute, 5 minutes. Hold on, that whole thing. But she wasn't having any of it. She was giving him, she was talking back to him and upset at him.
She threw some cardboard at him.
She threw shit at him, and he got up and he literally
It was
off camera.
She wasn't throwing like large objects. She threw a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, and off
Just
camera,
for perspective.
exactly. She was being semi-violent against him.
Aggressive.
Whatever you want to call it. Some people are like, oh, like she deserved it. But anyway,
Right.
off camera, you literally hear him.
There's lots of screaming.
There's screaming.
You hear what sounds like a strike.
Yeah, a slap, a smack, something pretty loud. Then you hear the girl crying. It's really disturbing. You hear the girl crying, and then you hear a baby crying.
They have a kid and she's pregnant.
Yeah. So yeah, good fucking shit, dude. Hitting a pregnant woman, stupid fuck.
A fucking fuck.
Yeah. So all that happened. You hear the kid crying. He gets up a second time and hits her even harder. And
this is all off
camera.
What we're hearing, speculation as to what's going on via sound.
And then
We'll wait for the official stuff.
So what we do know is he was arrested, and I believe his
Yes.
girl was also arrested.
Initially, she was arrested but released without charges.
New South Wales, yeah. Okay, so she was not arrested. She did not. She was not seriously injured, and I'm hoping the baby's okay. That sounds like the baby's okay.
Yeah, the baby wasn't involved. The baby was crying because they were both screaming.
She was, she has a 20-month-old and a 3-year-old in the home while that was happening on. And one of his children shouts "Daddy, Daddy" at the end of the second video. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This guy is a cunt.
Of
We're just
course.
gonna say that.
Of course.
He's had previous behavior of being a cunt. Yelling at his daughter on stream, calling his daughter a cunt on stream.
Yeah, you know what? Let's be mad at PewDiePie instead.
But of course.
Let's be mad at
Well,
PewDiePie and Kevin Hart.
I have put this into perspective though. The relationship is toxic. Yes, the wife was an instigator of the violence or whatever. That doesn't excuse the violence or his actions. He's a horrible person for doing it, or he did a horrible thing, however you want to spin it, whatever. But clearly, there's something wrong with that relationship from both perspectives. This isn't the first time it's happened. This isn't the first time they've both been violent with each other. She was throwing stuff, smacking stuff around, and then when he did hit her, the did you could just tell the way that she was crying was for show.
Oh, her cries?
Her cries.
I mean,
A
either
lot-
way, he hit her, dude.
Listen to the 100%.
Yeah.
He is in the wrong. But this isn't what I'm saying is this is not the first time this has happened. It's not the first time he's hit her, and it's not the first time she's instigated these kind of altercations. And then, she's put on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This isn't the first time. This isn't the first time he's hit her. This isn't the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
Charges need to be brought. That relationship, something needs to happen because it's not a good environment for the child.
Look, man.
That's what I'm worried about is the kid.
Listen, man. I'm the last person to be like, judging people for their relationships. Everybody has their own fucking issues, man. And, the one thing I'll always say is violence is never okay in a relationship, especially if you're the dude, man. If you're the dude, you have
I will be sexist and say that.
Dude, it's for real, man. This isn't like ideological. This isn't like, hey, your side of politics, my side of politics. You're a dude, you marry a woman, and you're obviously stronger than her. Hitting her means way more. Hitting her means way more than her hitting you. It just does.
I'm fine with punching a bitch in the face if she's coming at you with like a knife.
Yeah, no, you're just defending her.
Violent, throwing stuff. You can defend yourself or whatever. Yeah. But you also still have to understand that your retaliation versus her actions can be way higher without even trying.
Yeah.
Because you are stronger. You're a man. You have testosterone. You are going to do more damage far easier to her than she will to you. So you have to be mindful of that.
The correct thing to do is, just get out of it. No, for real, it is. Leave. And if you think that it's necessary, call the police, and that person goes to jail. Women should not be able to hit you at all. They should not be able to be violent. But let's be real, man. He's not.
You will do way more damage.
Way more damage.
And he wasn't defending himself.
No.
Obviously, he's abusive.
He was being abusive because his girlfriend, who was being verbally abusive,
that doesn't mean you should escalate.
It doesn't mean any. I'm not giving him a pass or anything. I'm just saying that she's not completely innocent, but she didn't deserve to get hit by a stronger man.
It's sad that you have to explain all these nuanced takes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, people don't understand that you can be nuanced.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, looking at the fucking Twitter comments,
it's just cancer all over.
She deserved it. This is what you get.
She deserved it. It's
you
can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't do it. You can't do it, people. Don't fucking hit.
You don't know both sides of the story.
Second,
blah blah blah.
Don't fucking beat your wife.
No, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the sides of the story are, dude. I don't care if she cheated on you. I don't care if she slapped you across the face. There's no reason for you to go and impose your power onto your wife. But that doesn't work for me. Me and we have our own thing.
Well, we all know who's dominant in your relationship.
Yeah, she wears the pants. Oh man. So yeah, that's it. So Mr. Dead Moth, let's see, is there any update on that? Let's find out. Mr. Dead Moth. Let's see.
I don't know, because it's probably going to be a while before we get official word of like what the charges are and stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at the news to see if there's anything. Yeah, there's nothing recent. Yeah, no, nothing recent. So, yeah, that's it.
It'll probably be like a month or so before like any information as far as like indictment and stuff comes out.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted as long as if it is in in the news, but other than that, there isn't really anything else in the news. It was just really disturbing to watch. How about Keemstar blasting it out though on his Twitter? He blasted out.
He's always on. He's always on top of that kind of stuff.
I know, man. That's it. All right. That's it for the fucking news.
Toxic gnome.
My wife wants to know if you shaved.
Yes.
Yes. She said you look like you're 10. Do you want me to beat her?
I know. Yeah, come on, John. You gotta
I
defend
didn't
my
want to
honor.
do
Beat
it.
your wife.
I
Beat
didn't
your
want to
wife
do
like
it,
you're
woman,
supposed
but you went after my co-host, and now you're gonna get it. So yeah, that's it. News is over, guys. We're done. We're done. We're done with all of you.
We're done with this. Fuck you.
Listen, guys, we have a YouTube channel and we have an iTunes channel. If you guys can, leaving a 5-star review on iTunes actually helps us huge. It
Yes.
moves us up in the suggested list for people. So if people are looking at other video game podcasts, they'll see ours potentially if we get a 5-star review. And if you like a video, I don't know why YouTube has it this way, but liking a video also moves it up in their algorithm. So if you can, just give us a shout right there. Also, the Wise and Sassy podcast, the one I do with my wife, same thing. If you can do that. What else did we want to plug? 100th episode is coming up soon.
Oh, we got a plan.
So we want to do something special, and we're taking all kinds of ideas. So if you guys have any ideas of something fun we can do for our 100th episode, please let us know. And but we will do something nice. So yeah, anything you want to plug, Czar?
Nope.
Nothing you want to.
Nothing I want to plug. Go subscribe on YouTube. I linked it in the chat. We don't have like a / the Point Click podcast yet because we don't have enough subscribers.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but we will. We will.
We'll link it.
We'll get there sooner or later. So yeah. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for us. Have a wonderful day. We love you all. We love your support, and we'll be here next week with more Fallout 76 news. See you guys later. Have a beautiful time.
We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away.
It smelled like wet dog. We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away. So stay woke, stay fresh,